daughter, Robin, and 6-month-old son, Jermaine Jr.'s paternity. Although you are hopeful that both are your children, you now have doubts. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bodine, you claim you are certain the plaintiff is Robin and Jermaine Jr.'s father and have evidence to support your claim. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Benning, tell me about your relationship with your daughter, Robin, and how these paternity doubts are affecting you.
Well, first off, Your Honor, my mother passed away when I was 14 years old. She was my best friend. We spent every waking moment together. And after she died, it, left me hurt. I always wanted a daughter, and I promised I was going to take care of her and treat her like my mother took care of me.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
I've always stuck by with that.
So having a daughter has been so important to you?
So important. I waited first.
And tell me about that relationship.
We are so close. She's goofy. She loves daddy. She's a daddy's baby. We love to play, chase each other around. Goldfish is our snack. We love goldfish.
It's our snack.
Yeah,
I love how you
snack.
said that. And what else?
I've just always been there. Always been there. No matter what Robin needed, I'm always there for her.
And so tell me about the day you first found out she was pregnant.
Well, when she first came home and told me she was pregnant, I was excited. Especially once we found out that it was a girl. That's something that I've always wanted. That hyped me up. I couldn't ask for anything else than that. That's my world.
So, Ms. Bodine, Mr. Benning says he was so excited when you told him you were pregnant. At that time, did you know there could be any other possibility?
No, Your Honor. I admit I did cheat. But for certain, he's the father. We was together while I got pregnant with Robin, and I know for certain he's the father.
It actually happened during labor, Your Honor. I was in the hospital sitting across from Kayla as she was pushing this baby out, and I received a text from a guy telling me to leave the hospital because that's his baby and he needs to be there.
What?
I am in labor, literally in the hospital, and I received a text telling me that the child that I'm waiting to come isn't mine.
And so you get the text and you know who it's from.
Yes.
What do? You can't say anything to Ms. Bodine while she's in labor, can you?
I just kept going and I signed her birth certificate.
So you just kept going through the entire experience?
I pushed through it. I wanted my daughter and I wasn't letting anybody take her from me.
So even though you had the doubts, you had to know, you had to feel the doubt at that time.
Yes, it started to sink in, but I fought through it.
But you were just too excited and you said, I'm not going to let anybody steal my joy today.
Right.
So, Ms. Bodine, this other man sent a text to Mr. Benning while he's by your side at the hospital. How do you know this other guy is not the biological father?
Because, Your Honor, I stood up and did the woman and the mother thing I had to do and got the other guy tested.
Oh, so you had a DNA test on the other guy already?
Yes, and he wasn't the father.
And you submitted those results to the court?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. The results read that the probability of paternity between you and this other guy is 0%.
Yes.
So he was not the father?
No, he wasn't, because Jermaine's the father.
All right. So, Mr. Benning, you still build the relationship, but you still have a doubt?
Yes, quite a few. First off, the DNA test doesn't mean anything considering the fact that she's cheated on me with more than one person.
Oh.
There could be other guys out there. That's just one,
Now, that's the plot twist.
As well as, Your Honor, anytime that something is wrong, I'm also reminded, oh, you're not her father. As soon as we start to argue, you're not her father, but if you need something, I'm the father.
You say stuff to hurt my feelings, why can't
Have I
I do
ever
it
told
to
you that you're not the parent of your kid?
You can't! I pushed him out!
Okay. So you're just going to stab me in the back and tell me that I'm not the father of the kid that I take care of?
This is why we're here today, to prove it.
Let's prove it then.
Okay, let's prove it then. She looks just like your mom.
Mr. Benning, I do want you to explain to Miss Bodine, because I feel like, Miss Bodine, to say someone is not the father of a child. Now, that's a little below the belt.
That's not just hurting somebody's feelings,
Yeah.
it's ruining somebody's life.
And I want you to tell her what that feels like so she can understand. What does that feel like when she says that to you, Mr. Benning?
That little girl right there is my mother. Come back to be with me.
And
When
she
you
looks
tell me that,
like your
when you
mother.
tell me
She's
she's
her
not
twin.
mine, it feels like you're taking my mother away from me again.
She's your look.